episode 8, Nocturne. And it's your boy Icon with a DC Amazon Prime animated review for you. And before we get started, hit that notification bell, like it or subscribe, and let's talk about a little Batman. So, this one almost gave me a heart attack. And I'm not just saying that because of what happened. In this particular episode, we're going to the circus. And as soon as they said we're going to the circus, I immediately clutched my pearls because I said, for the love of God, here comes Richard Gillian Grayson, the GOAT. It's no secret to anybody that Dick Grayson is my favorite DC character. Nightwing is my favorite character of all time. And I was a little excited when I heard this because I was like, oh, we might get the birth of Dick Grayson. But then I was also a little worried because I don't like Barbara and Dick being different ages. Like I'm used to them being around the same age. I'm used to them being in college together or like being in middle school together. So this Barbara's not even in college. Like Barbara got a damn job. Like she's working. She's a lawyer. So to introduce like a 20-something-year-old Barbara Gordon that's already a lawyer and a 13-year-old Dick Grayson, I would not have been happy about that because I don't want to see a grown-ass Batgirl and like a young-ass Robin. But I have no control over that. So if that's what we're getting, I'm just gonna have to accept it. But in this particular episode, the kid, like this first kid showed up, and then when the first kid showed up, he had on a red sweater and green pants, and I said, Lord Jesus. He was with another kid, like another redheaded kid, and the circus was in town, and they were on their way to the circus. They called him Dickie, and as soon as they called him Dickie, I saw where this was going, and I was legitimately like falling apart on the inside because I was like, oh Lord, here it is. I'm like, you can't fool me. I mean, if y'all would have called him Richard, that would have been more discreet, but they called him Dickie. I'm like, here we go. So then the circus is in town. Bruce is at the circus. Harvey Dent actually put the circus together because he wanted to show the people that he was a good man at heart so he can win for the Material race. Bruce Wayne helped sponsor it. Dr. Lee Tompkins showed up, and she looks unnecessarily old. Like, I feel like she could have looked a little bit younger because this is considered like a younger Batman. But anyway, so she's there. Everybody's there. Bruce got a girlfriend that he's ignoring, and, you know, they're just walking around like doing the damn thing. There was a moment where this one particular guy, he was doing a performance where he had like some weights, and he told this one big buff guy, he was like, hey, could you lift this weight? The guy couldn't lift the weight. Then he asked the little girl, he was like, hey, little girl, could you lift this? And she was like, oh, God, no. So he put her in a machine. And then when he turned the machine on, the machine like jolted the girl like full of like energy. And then when the girl came out of the machine, she was able to lift the weight. So now he was just like, ta-da, ladies and gentlemen, you know, like I've done it again. So now I'm just like, okay, so this guy made a machine that enhances people's abilities and gives them superpowers. Come to find out, the girl in question is his sister, his younger sister. And the girl has a special power, a special gift, if you will. She has the power to siphon the life energy from other people. And she can't be around during the daytime, so basically she's a vampire. That's why we call her Nocturne. But the thing is, she's going around stealing the energy from like kids because Dr. Tompkins had brought orphan children to the circus, like, because I guess she runs an orphanage or like she's in charge of doing psychiatric like evaluations for the orphan kids. She brings the orphans to the circus, and Nocturne basically starts running up on the kids and kidnapping the kids and starts stealing the kids. So Dickie was the first one that she ran up on. She sucked his energy dry, and then she went for the next victim. The next victim, they said his name was Jason, and they called him Jace for short. And I was like, huh. And I didn't say anything. So then Jason gets run up on. Nocturne steals Jace's power. Like, Jason's power gets taken. Dick was taken. Nobody said anything. Jason got taken. Nobody said anything. Then there was this white blonde girl named Stephanie. And as soon as Stephanie went missing, everybody was like, oh my God, where are the children? Like, I thought that was hilarious. So Stephanie goes missing. And we find out that, you know, Nocturne snatched up Stephanie, and she siphoned Stephanie's power. So now Bruce is like, yo, I got to look into this shit. And when he goes and starts asking questions, he's looking in the mirror house, he's looking in the fun house, he's trying to find the children. The freaks of the circus ended up rolling up on him. The bearded lady, the two-headed guy, like, you know, whatever the case may be. And one particular person who was down with the circus, who was one of the freaks that ran up on Bruce Wayne, beat him up, and threw him in the river, was Killer Croc. Because they called him Waylon Jones, that's Killer Croc. So we have our mystery villain sighting of the episode. So Killer Croc is here. He exists, but he's still a part of the circus. He hasn't broken off from the circus yet. They throw Batman in the river. Batman comes out of the river. Alfred finds him. He's like, give me the suit, Alfred. And then he puts on the suit. He goes and starts investigating. I thought he was going to go whoop Waylon Jones's ass. He didn't go after Waylon Jones. Instead, he went after the brother. And then the brother, he had gotten into an argument with his sister because he was like, sis, you need to stop running up on these kids. He said, stop snatching the kids because we're trying to keep a low profile. And this last girl, Stephanie, that you took, people are actually looking for this girl. So she's like, he was like, it was different with the boys, but people are actually trying to find her. So he said, I need you to chill. And then she got mad. She threw her brother up against the wall, and apparently he died. Like Batman showed up. Batman was talking to the brother, and then he was just like, oh, please forgive my sister. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's just mad with the power and everything. But then I guess he died. I don't remember him dying, but I guess he died. So Batman, he's trying to find Nocturne. And then we find Nocturne, she's in the forest, and she bumps into a fourth orphan. And when she bumps into the fourth orphan, I said, wait a minute, something's going on here. Because the fourth orphan had short red hair and glasses. And I'm like, wait a minute, now this is starting to make sense to me. You got Dickie, you got Jason. I think Stephanie is spoiler, and then you got the redheaded girl who was supposed to be like the Robin of the future. So I'm just like, what are we doing, people? Because you done bust out 4 Batman sidekick children. And these 4 children are supposed to be of different ages. They're pretty much all around the same age, and they now live in the same orphanage. I am confused, but also I'm interested to see where this is going, because are we really gonna? I thought at the end of the episode Batman was going to adopt all 4 of them. I was like, this show is gonna start with this motherfucker having 4 Robins, and that's another thing. If this is really Dick Grayson, if Dickie is really Dick Grayson, the Robin thing wouldn't make sense, because he gets the idea from the Robin costume because he wears it to honor his family, because that's what he wore as a member of the Flying Graysons. If you don't do the Flying Graysons, you take the origin away from the suit. So now, how do we justify him wearing a Robin suit? Like, I'm gonna need an explanation for that. But it might not be Dick Grayson. They called him Dickie. They didn't call him Richard Grayson. So there still might be some hope for that. But the other 3 kids, I was just like, y'all know what y'all was doing with that one. Although the redhead looked nothing like Jason Todd. So anyway, and then like the redhead, like, the girl got spunk. Like, she was the only person that fought back when Nocturne tried to steal her power. And then Batman showed up in the forest. He fought her. She ended up trying to steal Batman's power because, remember, she has increased strength. She tried to steal Batman's power. The redheaded chick, I think her name was Cassandra. I keep forgetting. The redheaded chick, she ended up intervening. She saved Batman. Batman was able to take her out. They took Nocturne down. And then when the sun came up, she started like burning alive. And then Batman threw his cloak around her, and he was like, I must protect her. And then he, along with young Cassidy, they ended up going back to the circus. And then in the next scene, Bruce came to the hospital. He came to the orphanage the next day to visit the children. And this is when I thought he was going to adopt all 4 of their asses. But then he was just like, Leslie was like, oh, the kids are doing fine and everybody's fine. And then, the one girl, she was like, I saved Batman and everything. And then he was just like, oh, how's Nocturne? And they said that, she's resting comfortably and the doctors are still trying to work on her. So I guess she'll be a thing like later on down the line. And then Batman was just like, he was just like, no, it's cool. It's like, I'm glad the children are safe. And then it takes us to like this final credit scene. While they were at the circus, Rupert Thorne showed up and he ran up on Harvey Dent. And he told Harvey Dent, he was like, as the DA, one of my guys is, he got busted for something. I need you to drop the case so he can get out scot-free. And then he was just like, and for that, we'll help your campaign and we'll make sure you win the race for mayor. While they were in court, the judge had asked, he was like, Mr. Dent, do you want to let this criminal go free into the streets? And then Harvey Dent was like, I say the nay. Because he was, at the end of the day, he was like, you know what? I'm sick of being a pawn for Rupert Thorne. I'm tired of being his bitch. He said, I need to stand up for myself and I need to do things the right way. And he said, I'm not going to let criminals walk the street. And he finally took a stand. So then after he finally took a stand, he's in the bathroom, like taking a leak. And then one of Rupert Thorne's goons came into the bathroom, took some acid, threw it in his face. Half his face is burned, and now we have Two-Face. That was how the episode ended, and thank you for tuning in. The Two-Face reveal was like, it wasn't the most surprising, spectacular reveal of all time, but if I'm being honest, it made perfect sense. Like, the way they did it made perfect sense. Like, that's how something like that would happen in real life. So I'm like, okay, so this is cool. This is cool. So now in the next episode, we're clearly getting Two-Face. I'm still confused about the 4 children, but I do want to see where this is going. It was a good episode. I liked it. Share your questions, comments, and concerns, and we'll continue to talk about it. So yeah, we'll see. I pray to God that Dickie wasn't Dick Grayson. Like, I hope we get an older Dick Grayson that's a part of the circus and, and is with the Flying Graysons. As far as Jason, Stephanie, and Cassandra is concerned, like, I'm fine with that. Because all that means is eventually when they get a little older, eventually like they'll become like Batman sidekicks, but not today. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. They said they gave me a heart attack, but I'm still invested. The show is damn good, and I hope to continue to review it and enjoy it when we get to season 2. But right now we got 2 more episodes to go. So let me know what you thought about this particular episode of Batman Cape Crusader. What do you think about the orphan kids? What do you think about the Harvey Dent Two-Face reveal? And we'll talk about that as well. Check me out on social media because I have my coverage of Anime NYC 2024. I have my other videos with Batman Cape Crusader. We finished up Suicide Squad Isekai, which is on my channel, and we're still going over that Kite Man, so definitely check out my Kite Man reviews and everything in between as well for all of you. So that was it, guys, so thank you for tuning in. For some more Batman Cape Crusader action. Look out for the orphans, look out for Nocturne, because they're running the streets of Gotham. And until next time, we're out this...